Alright, let's do a run. It won't be worse than last time, at least. So let's just see what happens, I guess. Do it on easy, and let's go. Alright, I did make some adjustments to my splits to make it so that there's less splits that don't matter and more splits that do matter. So, like, I got rid of a couple splits I don't need, and I added in a few that I definitely probably should have had in the first place. Like, I didn't have splits for either of the trips to the Forbidden section before, and now I do. Oops. Okay, I don't know why I wasn't able to talk to her for a second there. It was annoying. Alright. Oops. Nope, got the sun gem. I definitely need to figure out a better way of propping up my second controller than I currently do, because it is very precariously balanced on playing at the moment. While it gets the job done, it definitely doesn't feel great. And this positioning of putting it on my leg like this works a lot better when I'm not in like an actual desk chair like this and I can lean back. But because of how I have things I'm positioned in this chair, yeah, it's just kind of precarious, but oh well, it's fine. Alright. Alright, I did not select an incorrect option there. That's good. I didn't have to sit through extra tutorial. I'm actually using my, like, Stream Manager on Twitch to look at stuff as opposed to the OBS decks. Everything's in a different spot than I'm used to. Oops. Alright. Still nothing really interesting going on just yet. Just some more tutorialization. Alright, now I get to test this trick and see if I can actually do it well. Because I did not get it last run. Oops, I was not far enough to the left there. That's fine. Minor issue. Alright, let's do it. I will still get the safety save because I don't want to reset over this just yet. Come on. Damn it. That was a good pause, I just didn't get the jump out. Oh, that should have worked. There we go. Got out of bounds. There we go. Let's go. That was slow as balls, but it was faster than not doing the trick, so I'll take it. It saves some time. Because step one to doing a trick fast and saving time with it is to actually just get the trick in general. Nice, I got that first try as well. I probably don't need those coins, but I don't really know what coins I do and don't need just yet, so I'm just gonna grab more coins than I probably need. Okay. And boss fight. Let's do it. Thankfully, it's a piss-easy boss fight, but still boss fight. It still feels weird doing the unupgraded version of that attack, where it just doesn't get to be 5 hits yet. It's only 4 hits. Okay. And since I got the burn, I only need to do 3 hits. Nice. Good stuff. I think last time I split on leaving the room here, so I'll just do that again. Saving a good chunk of time. Could this be faster? Absolutely, 100%. This could have been faster still, but can't complain. It's only my second run. Alright. I ran straight into that guy. I did that same thing last run. Damn it. Okay, that's fine. Not the end of the world. Yep, I'm gonna be saving a lot of time all over here. Because I ran away, I'll get that extra couple coins real quick. Alright. Lots of dialogue mashing, and then I get to play the game again. Oh, we're off to a good start. Save, not even 10 minutes into the run, I've already saved almost 2 minutes. Alright. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot that there is actually another trick coming up soon, but it's not too difficult of a trick. It's not free. You can't just assume it will automatically go well, but it's not too difficult, thankfully. I feel like that's a sun gem that I should just not be getting. That feels way too long to get. Because, like, I only need to get 6 sun gems before I get to Chapter 2. And then I can dupe any other sun gems I need if I want to. So, yeah. Oops. Whoops. There we go. Go around here. And there we go. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Hello. Yeah, the new Paper Mario looks a little weird, I'm sure. As we just get a still shot of books because I broke the game. I backed this game on Kickstarter back in 2022. That's how long it took for this game to finally come out, and it finally came out a few weeks ago. Oops. Next time I got into that fight. I mean, technically they're all for fun. All of the speedruns I do are for fun. Oops, I did not want to hit that switch. Oh well. But yeah, this is... I mean, it's a run that maybe I'll do more long-term, potentially, but for now I just want to get a couple runs and see how I feel about it. Because this is, yeah, like, this is only the second time I've done this run, obviously. My goal is to get sub 3 hours for the moment, which is not particularly difficult. I mean, it's not even just easy PB. It's like, if I don't PB during this run, I should just give up. That's how easy of a PB it'll be. My first run was very, very bad. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, saving 30 minutes might sound like a lot, but that's how bad my first run was. So bad that that's not even that much, honestly. Like, there's been a run, the best run so far has been under 2.5 hours. And obviously that wasn't even, like, that perfect by any means. So, like, I have a lot of time that I can save. I got stuck on some tricks during my first run for a very long time. So just by, like, getting every trick within, like, the first 10 tries, I'll save, like, 20+ minutes during this run. That's how bad I was with some of those tricks. Plus, there's, like, smaller mistakes here and there of, like, just forgetting where to go. That probably cost me a couple minutes overall. Like, you can see, the first split is less than 10 minutes long, and I saved almost 2 minutes on it. Because I messed up a trick, and had to give up on it, basically. There we go. Some nice out-of-bounds movement. I mean, that's why I'm doing it, because it's illegal. That's my brand. Oops. There we go. Oh yeah, no, this run is already very, very busted, mostly thanks to just, like, one trick. Whoops. Which is that pausing thing that I'm doing. Because the way this game's physics work, if you throw your shield, pause the game, and then, like you pause the game the frame after you throw the shield, and then you unpause the game and then jump the frame after you unpause, you just get way more height than you're supposed to. You can make a lot of jumps that you're not supposed to. So yeah, because of that, there's like, for example, I just jumped straight in the water. Whoops. Like in the second chapter, we skip pretty much the entire thing because we're able to just like get out of bounds pretty early and just go straight to a later part of the chapter. So, like, Chapter 2 is the shortest chapter in the run because we skipped so much of it. Oops. And this chapter is also very busted. Because I'm basically, like, going up here to do some stuff that I'm not supposed to be able to do yet, and this will set it up so I can skip, like, a whole huge chunk of the chapter later on. Go. Because this entire section I'm doing, I don't even have the ability that I'm supposed to have to be able to do any of this stuff yet. I'm gonna get that ability later. I mean, yeah, I think this game was in development for like 5 years. Also, cutscene happening for NPCs that aren't here, because I haven't gotten to the point in the run where they get here. So I just don't have to worry about that. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I think this game was in development for like 5 years. And I backed it on Kickstarter, I think, at the end of 2022. So, like, the Kickstarter was, like, 3.5 years ago, I want to say. Also, casually, very fun game. I would recommend this for anybody who likes Paper Mario-style games. Or RPGs. I don't really need... How many do I have? I have 7. I don't need that Sun Gem. I'll just leave it there. Alright, and then I do need to stop by the shop here. Because I need to buy an item. Buy the explosive brew. Because I need that for the boss fight coming up at the end of this chapter. Oops. And we do some more shenanigans. I got caught on the tree. Oh, okay. Note to self, that tree's in the way. Oops, messed that up. There we go. That's better. And then I can go over here, out of bounds, and hit that loading zone. And then there's a mini-boss fight here that you're supposed to do, and I'm just not going to. So do this, and then go over there, and there we go. I just jumped over the trigger for the mini-boss fight. I mean, yeah, you're right, I do have time. I've got 2 hours. Alright, and then the jumps in this room are a bit tricky. I maybe should have used that save to be safe, but I'm just gonna YOLO it and trust that I get it, and don't fall out of bounds. Yeah, this one is a bit finicky. Go. Ow. Dang it. I fell off. This is definitely one that I need to get a little bit better at. But that's fine for now. And then go over here. Walk on an invisible wall. And then go slightly out of bounds and then back in bounds. There we go, there's a loading zone. And yeah, that skips a whole puzzle in that room. Now it's time for Lost Woods nonsense. But the solution is the same every time. Okay, then let's go to the right. And up here. Whoops. And up here. And then back this way, and there we go. We're in the first one of these rooms. Gotta do this 3 times. Whoops. And then let's knock 2 of these giant apples down. Get the first one in position. Get the second one in position. Trust me, if I was concerned about every time loss I was getting during this run, I would not be able to finish the run. I would have already reset. Alright, and then the next song is... left, up, down, or right, up, down, right? I have these written down so that I don't need to memorize them. And then I go here, and then I go down here, and I go down here, and then I do this extra fight for XP. Because if I don't do this fight, then I don't level up when I need to later on, and so... Oh no, this game has a phenomenal soundtrack, like, no joke, it's very good. Like, I've been listening to this game's soundtrack a lot over the past couple weeks because it is a very, very good soundtrack. If you stick around until the first boss, the Chapter 1 boss, that's probably one of the better songs. Like, that's one of the best songs in the game, in my opinion. And there's already a lot of other good songs. Alright. That's the second one of these. down, up, right, and then down right. Ow, how did that guy hit me? Why am I not surprised that you're messing with your server right now? Alright, but I'm almost done with this section, which means I'm almost done with Chapter 1. Take the loading zone. That's fair. Yeah, because... yes, for some reason, a lot of our friends are not as much of a degenerates as they were in college. I'm not really sure why. I don't know what could have caused that. That being said, it is the Saturday of a long weekend, so we could afford to be degenerates more this weekend than usual. Alright, then I'll split on leaving this room. Oh, damn, you got work on Monday? That sucks. Get a better job. Get a job that lets you have federal holidays off. It's almost like hospitals don't close during the week or something. Or the weekend, I mean, and on holidays. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab something here because I'm here. I know what you mean when you say that 3 of them are Christmas, but it's really funny to just think that 3 of them are literally just Christmas Day, and they just count Christmas Day as 3 different holidays. All offense, that's what I need to... okay. Oops, I do not need to buy anything else right now. I will buy stuff from you later. Alright, then I need to upgrade some skills. Do the tutorial. Want to upgrade Buckler Barrage, and Reedy Requiem. While I'm here, I'll also upgrade Blustery Ballad because I accidentally bought an extra ink bottle, but I'll need that anyway at some point, so it's not that big a deal. I did it now. No, I meant, like, it would be, like, the way you said it just made it sound like, no, like, actually Christmas Day counted as 3 days. It wasn't like you get 3 days off around Christmas. Like, no. They just count December 25th as 3 of your separate days off. Oops, got caught on a chair. There we go. Although I will say, what I was actually thinking, I was thinking Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then New Year's. That's not the right song. There we go. That was the song I meant to do. Also, yes, the bad guys of this chapter are the 3 little pigs, and we are blowing their house down. Also, the way I'm supposed to do this section is once I do this, I'll get a key, and then I have to go, like, operate a crane to let the rest of the unicorns through, which is where that one scene came in earlier, but because I already did that scene, I can just leave that room, come back, and we're done. I don't have to do any of that. Yeah, this wolf I have with me is the Big Bad Wolf. That's his stage name. Because he's a musician. Also, because the three little pigs are the boss, that is why my split is called ACAB. Go ahead and heal up. Alright, but they're in their brick house. That's the one we can't blow down. But much to our chagrin, yeah, we can't get them because they're in the brick house, but you know what that means. It's actually a giant mech suit. We have to fight it now. Also banger. This game has a lot of saxophone on the soundtrack, so I figured you would also appreciate that. Alright, I want to do Buckler, blow the bowl out. And get up there, then launch it. That stuns him so that he doesn't attack this turn. Bombs that I got earlier. Let's use them. Alright. I don't know why I moved him into the front. It doesn't really matter. Do that. Alright, this was... I messed up the action commands a little bit here. My menuing wasn't the best, but it's fine. I still win. Nice and easy. And because I'm still level 1, I get like 8 billion XP from the fight. Okay. Oh, that was also when I was supposed to split. So I lost time, but that was partially because I split late. So it's fine. No, I'm not too worried about it. It's only a few seconds. Alright, and then this next split did not exist last run, because I forgot to include it. But it is a section that I can save a lot of time for, because I messed up pretty bad last time at this part. Yeah, a lot of the soundtrack in this game uses like sample libraries and stuff, but a lot of the boss tracks have live saxophone and live clarinet on a few of them as well, which is partially why the boss themes are so good. It's because they have live saxophone. And the composer for this game also played live tenor sax for the title theme and the mini-boss theme, but somebody else played saxophone for the rest of the songs. Also, our boss is the Moon from Goodnight Moon. That's Mr. Moon. Alright, I do have to read my emails. Alright, I've read my emails. I'm pretty sure that's what everybody does at their actual jobs, when they read their emails. I like that. That's a funny thing about this game, is just like all of the stories that they do decide to pull stuff from, and then all the stuff that they just make up as they go. Sir Mr. Moon? I didn't know he was knighted. Alright, but now I need to go steal the key to the forbidden section of the library from the head of HR. As you do, naturally. He was knighted back in Nam? I don't think that's how that works. Alright. Also, we burned the head of HR's plants so she would be distracted, and we just stole the key right from under her nose. Now time for a section that's kind of annoying. It's not like the hardest part of the run or anything, but it is annoying. And if I mess up, then it's extra annoying. But that's fine. I'll save just to be safe because I'm here. Readjust my grip so I can do this better. Ah, dang it. Didn't quite make it. There we go. Second try is not bad. Now I just need to make sure I don't mess up any of the other parts here. Because last time I did that pretty quickly, and then I accidentally fell down later and then had to go back up a second time and do it again. Whoops. Not mean to do that, but oh well, it's fine. But yeah, here I accidentally fell down while I was trying to avoid that guy, and I just had to do the entire section over again. Because there was no backup to get back up here quickly, besides just doing it a second time. Alright, that was weird. Alright, and the reason I went out of my way to open this chest is because that chest gave me a damage upgrade. And so now Flint here does 1 extra damage with all of his attacks. Which, you know, as you can imagine, doing 3 damage instead of 2 is a pretty substantial upgrade. Okay. I also messed up last time and got encountered by this dude, so let's try and not get encountered by this dude this time. There we go. Cool. That was a pretty solid library. Not perfect, but pretty solid. Switch to Wolfgang because I do have a fight coming up. And he is the one that I want to have out for this fight. Because we have collected our book for Chapter 2. But first we have to fight the Librarians. They're the Librarians because they're barbarians, but also librarians. Let's do Requiem, because this will poison him. And when he's poisoned, he has 1 less defense. And since this one in the back has 1 defense by default, that means I can just kill him in 1 turn. Yeah, they are not berry-themed librarians. They are barbarian-themed librarians. That's late split. I'll just do it there. That's fine. This next split won't be perfect anyway, so I will have time to fix that in the future. Alright, now we have to go find and save Sherlock Holmes. Oops, got caught on the wall there for a second. Alright. Into the shadow over Inn's beak. And this is the chapter that we're just gonna absolutely eviscerate and do, like, 2 of the intended things. And that's it. And one of those 2 things is the final boss of the chapter. Also, the music here is very good. Because it's just some chill music with some sexy sax over it. Exactly. This is like a mix between a, like, detective mystery themed chapter and, like, a spooky themed chapter. It's like, yeah, the music is very noir themed, and then the battle theme is very, like, Halloween themed. We are doing a side quest here because the side quest gives Wolfgang a damage upgrade so that he does 3 damage instead of 2. And that just makes a lot of fights later on better. It's not required by any means, but it makes things nicer. Alright. And by doing this, we're skipping, like, a third of the chapter already, because this is a page from Sherlock Holmes's diary, or his journal, I guess. But this is like the 3rd or 4th page that we're supposed to get. So by just getting it now, it sets our story progress far enough ahead that we can get the next partner and then immediately go straight to the boss. First I need to do this jump, and this jump sucks. There we go, okay. Thankfully I didn't take too many tries. That took me a lot longer last night. Innsbeek Docks. Yes, exactly. I'm skipping the filler, and then I'm also skipping actually pretty relevant parts of the chapter, but, like, they're not actually required because we can skip them. Ouch. Okay, I messed up. I'm just gonna make this take slightly longer. That doesn't actually matter that much, because I accidentally messed up the first strike. Because, like I said, there's an entire boss fight in this chapter that I'm just not gonna do. Because I get to skip it. Because what's supposed to happen is, after I get that journal page, I get shooed out of the manor, and then I have to go get my next partner, and then after getting my next partner, I go back to the manor, discover some strange goings-on. And in the process of finding those strange goings-on, you discover the cult that's going on here. And then the cult captures you, you get separated from your party, you have to do a whole bunch of other nonsense, eventually you rescue the rest of your party, fight a boss, and then after all of that happens, you can finally go fight the boss in the chapter. But by doing this, I could just skip all of that, get the ability that I need to get to the boss of the chapter, and just be good to go. Which sucks, because that's actually like one of the more interesting boss fights, but I do not have to do it. Alright, but now the HR lady has joined the party. Alright, now for more shenanigans. Alright, let's get out of bounds, and then go over here. Ah, I messed it up. Accidentally fell in the water. Now, let me save just in case I mess up really bad, but I should be fine. I did get this first try last run, but it's not the end of the world if it takes me more than one try. Oops. Okay. Here, down. There we go. And now I'm out of bounds under the water. I can use this to get over to an island over here, which is very important, because on this island, this is the island that I would get trapped on later when I'm supposed to get kidnapped, but by just doing it now, I can get the ability here that I'm supposed to get early, and since I never got the party separated, I can just use that ability and go straight where I need to. First, go over here to get an upgrade, because that move that I picked up from that chest there is very important for several of the fights later in the run, for making them easier. Also, since I have those glasses, I can go turn them in to the dude that needed his glasses so he can give me the key so I can get into that shop. And then once I get into that shop, I can just go straight to the boss because I'll have my damage upgrade that I need. Make it. This isn't too difficult of a jump, I just need to not be bad at the game. There we go. That's better. There we go. Alright, that was not as good as it should have been, but it's fine. I got across. That's what matters. Let's go in here, get Wolfgang his damage upgrade. Do that. Okay, and now I can go straight to the boss. Come on. There we go. That jump's not too bad, but I was just not doing it very well. Okay. Alright, then I'm picking up a trinket here because that trinket makes it so that every time I hit land an attack, there's a random chance of it applying poison. And so by equipping that to Flint, who, you know, hits enemies a lot of times with his shield, it is very good at poisoning enemies without me having to do anything extra. Alright, just run off the cliff there to de-aggro the enemy really easily. Oh, come on. Okay. I didn't encounter the enemy. That's what matters. Even if it could have been better. I probably should have done it after healing. Alright, so heal. Let me do my equips now. Give him all offense. Wolfgang gets guard expert. That's it for now. Okay. Come on. There we go. That is to skip a trigger for some dialogue. Stuff that I don't need to watch. So let's go back here. Some important items in here. Like that chocolate chip cookie, which is one of the best items in the game. Can I have 2? So I'm gonna get 9 more? I think I only need 8 more, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I don't know if that one counted. 5. Here, I'll check real quick. Okay. Yeah, I still need 3 more. 6. 7. 8. Okay, there we go. Duped all of my sun gems. Alright, it's time for the boss fight. I'm sure everybody knows exactly what the boss fight of this chapter is going to be. There's not going to be any surprises here. Yeah, this is kind of... It's not BioShock, because BioShock does not feature a boss fight against Cthulhu here. Alright. Need to make sure I actually nail my blocks in this fight, because this boss can do a lot of damage if I'm not careful. Poison attack. Good. Blocking that is extremely important. Alright, turn 3. Okay. Oh, don't do the poison attack again. I hate blocking this. Ah, I hit it just barely too late. That sucks. I'm poisoned for the rest of the fight. Alright, now he sends me to the Shadow Realm. Ah, I pressed A a little too late there. Let's do Jam Session. Because this will give me extra defense and attack for 2 turns, which is very nice. Unfortunately, I do not have... Ouch. Let's go ahead and heal up Flint. And swap over to Eva. Have her attack. Ouch, that's unfortunate. Switch back to Flint. Alright, need one more attack. Ouch. Alright, swap to Tinder. That should be the fight. Oh, no, I need one more attack after that, apparently. Unfortunate, but that's not that big a deal. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a slow fight, but that's okay. As long as I don't lose, that's what's important. Oh, do I still need one more attack? Oh, okay. I thought that would have been it. Unfortunate. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that was a slow fight, unfortunately. So I'm losing some time here. Last time around, I did a lot better with that fight, I guess. Well, I did better with that fight last time, and I also did the skip earlier a lot better. Yeah, the fight was basically on Final Destination, but there was items. I did use some boba tea. Also, Sherlock Holmes, he's fine. Not only is he fine, turns out he fell in love with Cthulhu, and now they're in a happy relationship. Happy Valentine's Day. Alright. With that said and done, we're off to get Chapter 3 underway. Chapter 3 is really fucking long. It is the longest chapter in the game. No exaggerations. Because unlike chapters 1 and 2, where you can, like, skip a whole bunch of shit, and then chapter 4 and the final dungeon, where you could still skip some stuff, but mostly it's just you don't have to fight anything. Chapter 3 is very linear, very scripted. It has a shit ton of required fights. Alright. And the unfortunate thing about Chapter 3 is also starting Chapter 3 takes forever. I do want to go up here. Go over here, buy something from the Cheshire Cat, and then get some upgrades. I want to buy Dark Magic. Alright, have a good night, Josh. Hopefully your server stuff went well. Thankfully, I actually don't really need good luck on the run from here on out, because most of the stuff left is easy. In terms of RNG. There's not really too much RNG left in the run. A Cthulhu's like the big RNG spot. I mean, yeah, those are the odds of everything happening, 50-50. Because either they happen or they don't. But yeah, have a good night. Oops, I meant to buy the cookie. Buy the cookie. There we go. That cookie will come in handy during the final boss fight. And not really before that. Alright, off to the corporate retreat in Treasure Cove. Alright, I gotta make sure I have my my notes up for this chapter because I need to know what to do for these fights. I know the gist for most of them once I see them, but this way I'm not going to be caught off guard. Oops. Stop talking to him, Flynn! Okay. That's what happens when you mash too much. I need to talk to 5 people here, and then the door will open. A whole bunch of dialogue. Hopefully Wolfgang catches Humpty Dumpty here and nothing goes wrong. Nothing goes wrong. almost done this part of the mashing. I would split this section up into more splits, but unfortunately, there's nothing interesting, and it's just a lot of nothing, and then some fights. And then we finally get the pork cutlass, and then stuff starts happening. Alright. First, before we can embark on our adventure to find the treasure of the pirate Blackheart, first I need to go find a captain. Oops. Oops. This jump's kind of annoying. It really kicked my ass last night, but thankfully it did not kick my ass today. Didn't get a first try, but it did kick my ass. Alright, let's go talk to Captain Silver. Before he can join us, he has to get his compass, and unfortunately, somebody swiped his compass, so we have to go track down what happened to it. And this is a spot that I could save a pretty solid amount of time, because I forgot I needed to talk to Patches here last night. And so I went to the next area, and then had to walk all the way back over here. That lost me probably like a minute. Also, funny thing, I put on the detective outfit, which is not an outfit that I have, so it immediately removes it when I leave the room. Alright. And then the 3 blind mice have it. So we need to go haggle with them. And by negotiating with them, we get the compass, but that forces them to join us on the journey. Now that we have the compass, we'll return it to Captain Silver here, and we can embark on our journey. And do so significantly faster than my last run. Oops. Go to the ship. Alright. To jam out to some pirate music. Oops. Okay. I need to go get myself a pirate outfit, and then we can set sail. Eva real quick. Alright, that's fine for now. It doesn't really matter for this first fight, because this first fight I'm not using any of those characters. But yeah, this is why this chapter takes actually forever to get through. Tinder, Synergy, please come forward. And there we go. Fight's over. Alright, fight 2. Alright, we need to designate a lookout from our crew, so we need to go talk to Wolfgang. He will volunteer for the position. And we can set sail. On to the next fight. Because we're done. Done. On to the next one. Yeah, this chapter is unfortunately just a ton of scripted fights and dialogue mashing. And there is some interesting stuff sprinkled throughout, because there are a couple actual locations that we end up in, but there's not too much, unfortunately. Alright, Buckler Barrage. Swap to Eva. To Fang Feast. Alright, to the next one. Alright, let's see what my RNG here is for the gnomes. Hopefully it is good. String valid. Okay, that's pretty solid RNG, honestly. I will absolutely take that. Boost my TP by 1. And with that fight over, it's time to do some more re-equipping and moving some trinkets around. Poison Infusion, bring Requiem, and put on Call Offense. There we go. Thankfully, the fights in this first portion of sailing around are pretty simple. Because Because a lot of the fights end up having pretty similar strategies. Switch to Eva. Use Fang Feast. I'll insta-kill that guy. Swap back to Eva and use it again. And thankfully all of the enemies in this section, all of the regular enemies don't have more than 5 health, so Eva just absolutely shreds them. Because the small pirates have 4 health and the big pirates have 5. The next one is... using the buckler, and then also using Wolfgang. The buckler barrage. Alright, there's 2 more fights, and then we are making port. We are arriving at Port Cutlass. Ooh. Just gotta mash through more dialogue. And then Mother Goose will ask me if she should wear heels or flats. And no matter what you tell her, that is the wrong answer. If I get lucky, one of the pirates will get... Yes, okay. One of the pirates got blown away. That's good. So I'll just finish this with Flint real quick. And there we go. Won't quite... Oh, no, wait. Never mind. That was a perfect level up. Got the exact amount that I needed. So let's boost my health. And then for the last fight before we make port, just gonna use Tinder Synergy attack again and absolutely eviscerate him. Alright, then I'm probably gonna gold this split by like 6 minutes. At this rate. Depends on how fast I get through Port Cutlass. So that's done. I left. There we go. The first 6 fights are complete. gives us an energy drink, which I don't need, so I'm just not gonna take it. Oh yeah, right, I forgot about this. Humpty Dumpty's Revenge. Forgot that happens here. And he has 2 health. A whopping 2 health. Alright, off we go to Port Cutlass. God, this split is so fucking long, and there is not really a better place to split this up. It's just that this split just encompasses so much, unfortunately. Just a lot of nothing. Okay. So, first things first, stop by the shop to buy an explosive brew. And that is the only thing I'm buying there. And while this section doesn't have too much going on, there is still some skippage that can be done. There we go. Because the way you're supposed to do that is you're supposed to, like, eavesdrop on some people to find out a code to a secret entrance to get up here, and then you have to go up into the tavern. Stop talking to him. Stop talking to him! Jesus Christ. But yeah, you give the guy in the tavern the code, and then he lets you into, like, a back staircase that lets you up there. And obviously, I don't have to do any of that. Unfortunately, that's the only skip in this area. We need to go get a crab that was microwaved at the office, and now it's a crime scene because somebody microwaved crab at the office. Now the smell is permeating everywhere, so we have to find the culprit so we can take the crab. The culprit is Detective Sherlock Holmes. And now we're free to take the crab. Alright, and now that I have removed that crab trap, I can actually go ahead and finish off Port Cutlass. Alright, I'm not going to go by 6 minutes, I think it's going to be closer to 5 minutes, so that's fine. I'm still going to gold by a lot, and still have a lot of time to gold here, because this was far from perfect. Like, throughout this split, I could probably save, like, another minute plus from just better mashing. Because there's so much mashing in this split. But mashing is not the thing that I'm worrying the most about at the moment. Because obviously better dialogue, mashing through dialogue would save me a lot of time throughout the entire run, but, like, it's not the most important thing at the moment. It's pretty marginal stuff all throughout. And while that marginal stuff does add up, I'm losing significantly more time than that to small things. I don't need to talk to him, I need to get Wolfgang out and then play this melody. That was not correct. There we go. Alright. Almost a 5 minutes gold. Hell yeah. I am not convinced that this run will be a sub 3 hour time, but I feel like it'll be closer than I think. Yes, let's go ahead and leave Port Cutlass and do some more fights. Barrage. Do 4 hits there, then take out Eva. Fang Feast. There we go, and then do it one more time. Nice. Alright, moving on to the next fight. Alright, but now we need to go get our next partner, and our last partner. Last party member. Because the fact that I forgot to split here on the split last run, combined with the fact that I'm 13 minutes ahead, and these two splits together are very, very long, it looks like this split is going to take 50 minutes, but that is not true. Thankfully. Thank God it's not going to take 50 minutes, that would suck. Last time around, I did forget to get the rum before going back up top, so I will save some time by doing that correctly this time. Alright. And now, patches will not be terribly useful for a little while. Like, he doesn't have a lot of use in this chapter specifically, but he is absolutely busted as hell for the last 2 bosses. The last 2 boss fights he absolutely, utterly allows me to demolish. He doesn't demolish them himself, but he allows other party members to demolish it, because he gets a very broken skill. Switch to Eva, and start Fat Feasting. Hits. Out. I do not need any TP for the rest of the run. I have enough as is, so everything else will be going into MP and HP. Alright, this next fight is one of the slightly more annoying ones, but it's not too big a deal, thankfully. It's just gonna be a little slow. Casually speaking, the fact Patches is, like, kind of arguably the best partner. It depends on how many broken strategies you find casually, but, like, at a basic level, Patches is, like, the best partner because he has a base +1 defense and base +1 more damage than anybody else. And because of that defense, he just doesn't take damage from his enemies. There we go. Alright, this next fight is actually a bit tricky. Especially since I don't get to heal in between the fights. Not that I need to, but, like, I don't even have the option. Because it's time for a refight against the Three Little Pigs. Which is fine by me, because that means we get to hear their banger theme again. Alright, let's start by using... I don't want to do that. To use Blustery Ballad. So we'll get rid of barrel, shields, and that thing there. Buckler Barrage. Hopefully I get a poison, but if I don't, then I don't. I did not get a poison, that's unfortunate. Ouch. Items, Explosive Brew, that. Alright, he's dead. I probably didn't need that last hit, but there we go. That's unfortunate, but it's fine. So just swap to Eva and finish this off. I take an extra turn because Wolfgang went down, but it's fine. And there we go. Nice and easy. Because I did not level up, I do need to heal. Specifically because Wolfgang took so much damage, I need to heal. Because I can't do this next fight with him starting at 1 health. On top of the fact that I have no MP left. So even though this heal does waste some time, it's kind of needed. Unfortunately, it is necessary. Let's go. Keep moving. Although I will not actually get to do the next fight just yet. There's another small detour before the next fight. And emphasis on small detour because it's like 3 rooms big. But it's time for the ghost ship. Alright. Ghost ship's pretty easy. I have some time save here because I messed up the path last time, but we'll see. Whoops. Okay, I thought I had to go down one more before going to the right, but I did not. That's fine. Only messing it up once is better than last time, so I'll take it. Alright. And push this thing into place. I could save some time here by using a buckler hop, but like, I don't really want to do a buckler hop here, so I'm just going to put it into place and do this as intended, kind of. There we go. And the ghost ship's already done. It's very short. Alright, we've got Blackheart's remains, so it's time to move on. To the one more fight that we have, and then we're arriving at our next destination. It is not our final destination, unfortunately, but it is our next destination. And this one is more substantial than Port Cutlass. It's more difficult with some of the stuff that it requires from me, but it's also more interesting because there's more stuff to skip. But first, we gotta fight. Okay, I got one of the enemies to get blown away, which is good. Well, if I had gotten more than one to get me blown away, that would have been better, but I will take it. Okay, does damage. I can just kill him. It's faster than using Fang Feast. Gotta level up. I think last time I did NP, so let's raise HP. I just am basically alternating them until the end of the run. And as long as I end up at 18 or 28 MP, then I'm good. Oops. Not because I need 28 MP specifically, it's like, for the most part, for the rest of the run, any stat upgrades I get are just kind of like nice to have. None of these matter. No, I will not get world record today. World record is better than I am capable of getting at the moment. Because record is under 2.5 hours, and I am not getting this run in under 2.5 hours. But I will, at the very least, get a good PB. Alright. Oops. There we go. And then one more. There we go. One more. There we go. Alright, this room is a little tricky, but it's not too bad. Just need to get a good jump across this gap. There we go. Jump up. Jump into lava, there we go. Okay, could Could have been a little better, but I'll take it. Can't complain too much. Alright, there are some fights that are required here. And I did not do them particularly well last time, but I'm not too worried about them. There's unfortunately a lot of enemies that I have to avoid encounters from, which is kind of annoying. Alright, thankfully a lot of them are not too bad to avoid, but some of them are annoying to avoid. I'm just gonna first strike him, that way I don't take damage. It's better than the alternative. Oops. Alright. Thankfully I can skip a decent chunk of this dungeon, because I won't be doing it yet, but I could go straight up top there without having to go into a separate room early. And then I can also skip a chunk of this room. There we go. Got that first try, which is actually a little surprising. Alright. Get over here. Have some dialogue, and then whack 'em. Whack a mouse. Alright, and then go back the way I came. Come on. Alright. A little unfortunate, but that's fine. It's faster to just kill this guy, and it's not going to mess up my levels at all, so I'm just going to kill him. It's faster to kill him than to try running away. Because I got the first strike. Alright, now I have to go back across the way I came. There we go. Nice and easy. Oops. Alright. And then I can go up here. There we go. And while this is a dark room, thankfully it's a pretty simple dark room that I don't really have to worry about the enemies in too much. Go. There is a dark room later in the run that is a lot more difficult to deal with, so thankfully that one's pretty easy. There we go. And he's dead. Okay. More enemy. Hopefully he doesn't aggro on me in an annoying way. I can get the first strike. There we go. Okay, that first strike doesn't matter too much, but it does let me attack this guy faster and still kill him. There we go. I mean, I backed this game on Kickstarter for a lot more than $27, and I don't have any complaints about that fact. So, like, I do think this game's worth full price, but whether or not you would also think it's full price kind of depends on how much you like this style of game. If you are an enjoyer of the Paper Mario variety, then yes, I think it's worth full price for you. If you're more indifferent towards that style of game, then yeah, you could probably just wait for a sale. I 100% think this game is worth picking up, but whether you pick it up at full price is, like I said, dependent on how you feel about the genre. It's a solid, like, 20-hour game to, like, try and 100% it. I enjoyed my my casual playthrough a lot. And then I'll split here on when I get out of the volcano. Because I don't have to do the volcano escape, I can just do that. Out of all of the indie games inspired by Paper Mario that I have played, I would put this one in second place. Let's go. Because I would put this one a little bit below Bug Fables, because I think Bug Fables is a better overall experience than this game was, but that's not to say, that's not in the sense that this game is bad compared to Bug Fables, it's more just Bug Fables is that good, that this game is not as good as it, but is still a really good game. And then below that is Under Hero, which is not a direct Paper Mario-like RPG, but it has a lot of very obvious inspirations. Street Ballad. And then in fourth place, I would put Born and Bred, which, even in fourth place, not a bad game. It is just, again, less good than the other ones. Born and Bred is definitely the most flawed of the four. From a technicals perspective, it's like, this game is almost flawless. Like, I encountered pretty much, I think I encountered 0 meaningful bugs during my casual playthrough. Like, all of the stuff that I'm doing in this run is not a single one of them I ever ran into casually. It's like an indie game coming out and having very, very few bugs that are meaningful or impactful is very impressive on day one. That is not very common for any kind of game, let alone, you know, a very, very small indie studio. So huge props to them for that. Alright, then switch over to Wolfgang, Bluster Ballad. Blow away the 2 cannons. Swap to Eva. Fang Feast. Ouch. Fang Feast. I played this game on hard for my casual playthrough because there's an easy, normal, and hard difficulty. And on hard, this game does not pull any punches. It wasn't like the hardest thing in the world. I was able to beat this game on hard on my first playthrough, obviously. But I definitely did die a good number of times. Alright, now it's time for the rematch against the 3 blind mice. Switch to Eva and defend for this first turn. Did not attack with Eva the first turn so that I could get another Greedy Requiem off here before the mice disassemble their tower. Just makes things work out a little bit nicer. Requiem again. There we go. And the first mouse is down. Alright. And one more Fang Feast, and the fight is over. There we go. Nice and easy. Alright, one more fight, and then it's boss time. So I'm gonna get my notes for the boss fight up now. It's not gonna be for a couple minutes still, but I will be doing it soon. And this is definitely one of the harder fights. Not because it's like particularly difficult in the context of the speedrun, but it was not an easy one for people to route in the first place. And casually, it is not an easy fight. Because of its gimmick. Okay, but first I need to do one more fight and just absolutely obliterate them with Tinder. And I don't need to do this one perfectly because the strongest enemies here only have 5 health, and when I do it perfectly, I get 6 damage, but there's no reason to tank and miss anything. It doesn't save time. There we go. Get some health. I'll get 2 more levels before the end of the run, and I'll put 1 into health and 1 into MP. Alright. Right, now it looks like I'm going to be golden this split by a pretty good margin. Like multiple minutes margin. Next split, which did not exist before, but if it did, I would be saving an absolutely absurd amount of time because how poorly it went last run. There, do that. Mash through a little bit more dialogue, and then I'm good to go. Alright, boss time! Thankfully, there's only 4 required fights for the rest of the run. Yeah, I don't need to heal. Just go do the boss fight. There's only 4 required fights for the rest of the run. All of them are boss fights. And all of... I'm not going to say all of them are piss easy, thanks to the strats we have, but none of them are terribly concerning, thanks to the strats we have, as long as I don't mess up. Alright, let's do it. Boss fight. Fine. Because the sword is down, defend. I'm supposed to do a vine there, I think. That's fine. I don't think I need to do a vine. This is fine. That's enough damage. Phase 1 is complete. There are 5 phases to this fight, which is part why this fight's kind of ridiculous to an extent, but thankfully it's not too bad. Alright, Fang Feast. Because I'm doing the run on easy, each phase only has 12 health, which is not that much. On hard, every single phase in this fight has 20 health, which is a lot worse. There we go. Synergy points. Let's roll at a time. This Blazing Whirlwind is literally just to make it so that I don't have all of the parents attacking me this turn, and so that I can actually kill the boss this turn. Because otherwise, the boss would have the boss has 12 health, and Fang Feast only does 5 per hit, so this would require me to do an extra turn of damage. If I did not do that Blazing Whirlwind, I would have taken an extra round of hits from him. So thankfully I don't need to do that. If I get a good poison here, it'll save me a good chunk of time, and I got a pretty good poison. So it did 9 damage, and that means this will kill. Well, that, never mind. Won't kill because he has a sword out. I forgot about that. So it's a little bit of time loss because I messed that up. That's fine. But this will kill. Nice. Getting a good poison on that barrage saves me an attack, which is very, very nice. Alright, and then I want to do Vine on him. And I want to do Flaming Fury. Does that. Does that. Let's do another Vine. And then one more attack, and the fight's over. Definitely could have saved more time on that, but I saved a good amount still. That's sad. Alright, boost my MP, and split. And there we go. Golded by almost 3 minutes. Alright, and then this next split, well, I'll just save a massive amount of time on. Because it's not a terribly long, when I say next split, I mean the next split with an actual time, because the current split that I'm on is one that I added before this run. It wasn't there last night. But if it did exist last night, it would still be the one I would be saving the time on, because I did absolutely atrociously on this section. I lost so much goddamn time, and it's not even funny how much time I lost. But that's not going to happen tonight, because I'm playing a lot better. And yeah, after, I catch up after the next split here, I will get a good idea of what kind of pace I'm actually on. Because while I do have time save in all of the splits afterwards, obviously, because I have time save everywhere, I definitely don't have as much time save after that point, so we'll see. Alright, but first, before I move on, I need to do some housekeeping real quick. To buy Bear Boost. I'll just do the equip now while I'm thinking of it. Taunt, Bear Boost, Guard Expert. I don't need to make any other adjustments for the time being. I don't need this equipped right now. I don't need to equip it for a while, in fact, but I will do it now anyways. Alright, Bear Boost. I'll also upgrade Teddy Trimmer, but I don't need it. I don't use Teddy Trimmer in a way that matters for the rest of the run, because I only use it a single time, and that single time I use it is literally just for the 2 damage that it does, not for anything else. And not only is it just for the 2 damage, it's specifically to kill enemies with that 2 damage. So nothing will, assuming I do things correctly, nothing will stay alive after that 2 damage anyways. Alright. Let's get this jump and not lose 8,000 hours to it this time. Fuck it, of course I get it first try. For reference, I think I lost like 10 minutes to that jump last night, because for some reason I just could not get it for the life of me. And then obviously that means I get it first try here. With no problems. Alright, there is another tricky jump in this section, but that's about it. This part of the run is genuinely not that bad. It just has a couple annoying jumps, and that's pretty much it. There we go. Let me do this one more time. Come on. There we go. Alright. That jump I didn't botch horribly last night, but I definitely didn't get it quickly last night either, so that was pretty good. I'm happy about how long that took, in the fact that it didn't take very long. And then I'll split on the next fade out. There. Alright, on to Chapter 4. Chapter 4 kinda fucking sucks in this speedrun, not gonna lie. Mostly just because there's a lot of enemies to avoid in this chapter, and they are a pain in the ass to avoid all of them. So there's I'm definitely going to end up getting a good number of encounters in this chapter, which is not ideal, but there's not really too much I can do about it. Alright, but first, time to mash through a whole bunch of dialogue. Alright. Just gotta keep mashing. This is unfortunately a pretty long cutscene. We're almost done, thankfully, but it takes a hot minute to get through. Alright, now we're good. Just gotta get through, like, one more scene of us crash landing and we're good to go. Alright. Now, I'm still waiting for the most current version of the game to come to console so I can save, like, 2 minutes on the split for free. But unfortunately, that version is not on console yet, so it is not really released to me. It is a shame, but alas, I don't get a choice. I'm gonna do the funny strat. Oh no, I'm out of bounds. Whatever will I do? And that just puts me up here. That is not the fastest way for me to do that, but it is the funniest way. So I like doing that. Oh, how did that guy get me? Come on, that sucks. Yep, and of course that causes me to fall in the water. Fuck off. That's bullshit. I should not have gotten hit there. Alright, well that's a bunch of time lost for no good reason. Oh well, it is what it is. Of all the things that can go wrong, that is far from the worst. Turn in that berry that I picked up. Oops, I have to actually talk to him a second time. I forgot about that. Okay. But yeah, the reason why the current patch of this game would save time if it were on consoles because it fixes a soft lock in this area. Where if you were to get that berry that I walked past earlier on the left here, and if I were to get that early and then come to the village, that right-hand gate would actually never open. And so as a direct result of that, you can't get this berry early until they fix that soft lock. And that soft lock is patched on PC. But unfortunately, I am not on PC. to take a small detour to go back, get the berry, and then walk all the way back again. Thankfully, it's not like the end of the world. It's not the biggest time loss in the world, but it is unfortunate that it exists. It does mean I have to dodge the enemies in this room an extra 2 times, which is the real problem. Just trying to avoid this guy sucks. Thankfully, if you do a buckler hop and you get enough height out of it, it causes enemies to de-aggro because you're too high. And so by just doing that, you can avoid having to actually avoid those enemies the old-fashioned way. Makes it actually possible to avoid all of them, which is very nice. Damn it. Yep, I knew that guy was gonna hit me. That sucks, but it is what it is. Let's actually get across this gap this time, please. I got that without any trouble last night. And thankfully, I didn't take too many tries to get it tonight, but I did not get it first try. Took an extra encounter in the process. Now for this thing. I think I could probably get the fast jump here, but like, genuinely, I don't care. I'm not doing it. And I also don't need to fight this guy. This fight is completely avoidable using glitches. Whoops. I meant to do a barrage, but that's fine. No, actually, that was a deal. This fight is avoidable. But the movement you need to do to avoid it is kind of annoying, so I'm just not going to bother. There we go. Now I can get up there that way, which is a lot easier than doing it from the left side. Because the thing is, if that was the only time I had to avoid that guy, yeah, genuinely, just avoid him, it's not that bad. But the fact that I have to walk past that area an extra 2 times after this makes it so I have to avoid that guy 3 total times. It's just not worth it. Alright, time for some more skips. Am I not getting enough light or something? What's going on here? There we go. I don't need... I think it's possible to get up that last jump without a buckler hop, but like, I was messing it up a lot last night, so I'm just gonna do the hop. Play it safe, that way I don't fall back down 8,000 times. And I'll just split there. There we go. We saved a massive 20 minutes. 19 and a half, I guess, to be more specific, but like, still. And just like that, sub 3 is on the table. Exactly, like, that time save is more of just showing how horrible my last run was compared to this one. And how much I messed up. There we go. Let's go up here. Because, like, not the entirety of that time save wasn't on that one jump that I kept messing up in the forbidden section of the library, but, like, a big chunk of it was from that. And because I didn't mess it up this time, I saved a ton of time. Okay, there we go. this. Okay. Yeah, it was mostly just because of that one jump. It wasn't entirely. There's a few other things that I saved time on. But that did matter a lot. This encounter is a little unfortunate, but that's fine. Not the end of the world. Because there was a few other jumps that I also got quicker this time compared to last run, and there was also some procedural things that I didn't mess up, like remembering where I need to go and stuff like that, but yeah, the vast majority of that was just that one jump. And that means from here on out for the rest of the run, it's not that I have no time save, because that is definitely not true, but I definitely have less time save the rest of the run. There's no one split for the rest of the run that has, like, 10 minutes of time save or anything like that. It's at most going to be, like, a couple minutes per split. And even then, some of the splits aren't going to have that much. That being said, I do have some time save on this split that I'm on right now. It's just not a massive amount. Oops. It's got to kind of hinge on me not getting these encounters. Although I do actually have a decent amount of time save in R&D because I had to quit to the menu and reload my save and walk away, which lost me like 45 seconds. Which I actually forgot about until right now, so that is some free time save. By just not getting encountered by the one fight that I can't run from. And there's a good number of other jumps in R&D that I also messed up, like from time to time a little bit. So just not messing up those a bunch is going to help as well. Alright, let's go get Wolfgang, though. Alright, and as long as I don't have any, like, absolute meltdowns for the rest of the run, sub 3 hours is kind of in the bag. Now granted, that's a big if, because it's not like the run from here on out is completely free, but the hardest stuff is all over. There's nothing left in the run that is harder than anything I've already done. Tinder. Oh, dang it. And I could just do a buckler hop to do this jump, but like, it's kind of annoying, and that enemy is right there, so I'm just gonna play it safe and do this. Doesn't take that much more time. There we go. Took a couple tries, but that definitely took less tries than last time. So, that's good. Alright. And I'll split on this. There we go. Alright, I saved more time there than I was expecting. Saved over a full minute. It's actually pretty solid. So like I said, I definitely still have time save throughout the run from here on out. It's just a lot less than some of the other splits. Thankfully, there's nothing but bangers for the rest of the run. Because while the rest of the Chapter 4 music isn't bad by any means, it is, I don't think the Alien Village theme is particularly, like, it's an interesting song, but it's not like my favorite, it's not even close to my favorite song to listen to from this game. And I like the Glacius 9 theme as well, but it's like, it's just like pretty good. It's not anywhere close to my favorite. But the R&D theme, this is a banger. And we're going to be hearing it for a while, because R&D is not a short segment. Much to our chagrin, and many of our best efforts. It does, in fact, slap. Hello there, guys. I mean, you could listen to it. It's playing right now in the background. Oops. Alright, he fell down there. That works for me. Alright, I'm gonna save here just in case I encounter the enemy that I can't run away from again, but I should be fine. Thankfully, if I just mash through A here, the dialogue option makes it so I don't get encountered. I don't have to fight this guy, I mean. That guy in the background is the problem. So I need to make sure I don't get fight with him. So I will run away, wait for him to not be aggroed on me, and then do the trick. There we go. And there we go. We just saved like a minute. So there's still a good number of, like, actually, like, kind of technical jumps for the rest of this section. And if I were good, I wouldn't even be using Tinder to light up this dark room, but I am not good, so I'm using Tinder to light up this dark room. Because I do not have it memorized yet. So I have no reason not to play it safe. Because I will lose more time by just running off the edge 8,000 times than I ever would than just, you know, using Tinder to light it up. Okay. Well, that's not ideal, but if I'm going to end up encountering this guy, first striking him is better than getting first struck. But yeah, that guy kind of sucks to try and avoid, unfortunately. What the? I don't know what just happened there. It wasn't particularly helpful, but I got it. I mean, I got the jumps I wanted, and then I accidentally got extra height for some reason. I will probably, unless somebody wants to clip it for me, I will probably go back and clip that later. Because if that's replicable in other places, that would be very useful. Get up on the railing, and get over that wall. Okay. And then I could just buckler hop back across that gap, but like, fuck that. I'm just gonna move the platform. It's easier. Hey, I didn't encounter that guy. I did encounter that guy, though. Oh well, 1 out of 2 is not bad. Okay. And thankfully I have enough money. I don't need to worry about anything from here on out. Thank you for clipping that. Those kinds of... that extra height isn't, like, a completely new thing by any means. Like, we've seen people get it before in other places. I just have no idea if anybody's seen it there specifically. Damn it. This guy sucks. Thankfully, I don't need to actually worry about my health at all. It's just annoying. Oh my god, it fell off. Dude, come on. Alright, well, here goes, like, all of the time save that I had on the split. I'm blowing it. Are you kidding me, dude? If I swear to God, if I fall after this encounter, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, good. That still sucks. I lost a lot of time in that room, but it is what it is. That room kind of blows. Alright, got through that room with no issues, thankfully. And then activate this. Then activate this terminal and watch that guy have his body separated from his head. Okay, move away. Alright. Whoops. I forgot that guy was there. So that's another encounter. Unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Alright, and with that, we are done with R&D. Just gotta get through a bunch of dialogue mashing at the end, and then we're good to go. And then after that, it's a couple jumps in the Tattered Book, the Mr. Moon boss fight, and then the final dungeon. And the last 2 bosses, and we're good to go. But first, gotta get through a lot of mashing. Oh yeah, no, this isn't the worst part of the run as far as yapping goes, but it's definitely up there. I don't think it's as bad as the yapping in Prologue, but it's definitely like definitely a lot of yapping. I can't even yap. There's so much yapping. And we are not done yapping still. Alright, so almost done yapping. Just a little bit of yapping. Then a scripted fight, and a little bit more yapping. We're good. And we only get a taste of his battle theme, of Mr. Moon's battle theme, which is unfortunate because it's one of the best songs in the game. We will get to experience the full thing later, in just a little bit. Alright, I still saved almost 2 minutes there, despite losing a lot of time to encounters, so I'm pretty happy about that. I could easily save another, like, 2 minutes on that split. If I were to get through it with no encounters. Oops, I need to actually go get the book. Almost forgot to do that. It's still a damn shame that safe skip is not real. Because it is possible to, like, clip your buckler through the safe and grab that book at the beginning of the game. But doing so does not save any time, because getting this... you can't use the book early. And if you could use the book early, we could save a shit ton of time, but unfortunately that is not possible. Because you are not able to teleport to the book until that cutscene happens with you picking up the book. So, it's unfortunate, but, you know, that's how it goes. I definitely have some time to save here because my platforming was not the best last time. It wasn't, like, horrible, but it was not great either. And then my Mr. Moon fight was also a little scuffed, so hopefully that goes better. Okay, that was not very good. Oh, that should have made it. Oh, why did I not jump? Come on. This jump's kind of annoying, unfortunately. Oh, how did that not make it, dude? Come on. There we go. And then just do that. Puts me over. There we go. And I've got one more to do. And we're at Mr. Moon. Thankfully, that jump is deceptively easy. No, I'm already at full health. Let me switch to Wolfgang. Okay. Just save. Play it safe. Alright. Boss time! This boss is not free by any means. Like, I am very capable of messing this fight up, but it should not be that bad. Thankfully. Okay, that's a really, really good poison to hit almost immediately. Also, bang. I fucked up and hit the wrong direction. Okay, that sucks, but not the end of the world. Just means I did not break the second sheet with game. Which means I take a little bit of extra damage this turn. Alright, and this is the part where I use a chocolate chip cookie. Okay. That is unfortunate, but I'll live. World. And there we go. The fight is done. There we go. Not too shabby. Then I think I'm splitting after this cutscene here, and it fades out. Because I did not save 2 minutes on that split, so I'm assuming it's because I just split later. I don't split right after the fight. Which makes sense to me. But I'm still saving a lot of time on this split, which is actually a little surprising. I'm not surprised that I'm saving time, I'm surprised at how much time I'm saving. Alright. And there we go. I was not expecting to save almost 2 minutes there. But hell yeah, I will take it. Alright. And I don't have full health or MP, but it also does not matter right now. Because I will not have to do any fights until the next boss fight, and I can just heal before the next boss fight. Alright, time for more yapping. This is the second to last yap of the run. There is more dialogue besides that, but this is the second to last, like, major yap. Okay, there we go. And another good area theme. Oops. Alright, I do need to make sure I pick up a health item somewhere in this dungeon in the case of the board fight going a very specific way. I should be fine and not have to worry about it, but I need to be safe. There we go. I don't know why that was giving me so much trouble. Not that big a deal, just a little bit of time loss. If the board fight goes in such a way that they all target Eva turn 1, And on top of that, I have to do the synergy on turn 2. The synergy with patches. If those two things specifically happen, then I might have Eva go down before she can do her second attack, which would mean the fight is over and I cannot win. So if in the off chance that happens, I need to get a healing item so that I can heal Eva on the turn that Patches uses his synergy. Oops. Oh. Okay, I somehow did not encounter that guy. I had a free pass because he walked off the edge there, but unfortunately I kind of squandered it a little bit. Okay, this jump definitely took me a couple tries last time, but it's genuinely not that bad. I just need to not suck. There we go. Nice and quick. That jump is a lot easier than it looks, but it's not easy. It is definitely not free by any means, but it's also not that bad. It is far from the hardest jump in the run. Alright, that room, pretty easy to get through. And I know where a health item to grab is, so I'm not concerned in that sense. Dodge, but there is a tiramisu. Actually, is it not here? It's in, I guess it's in another... Never mind. I forgot about this room. Oops, that's wrong. I forgot what song I was playing for a second there. It's after this room. That is the item that I'm gonna grab. There we go. Yeah, because right off under the stairs here, there's tiramisu that I can grab, which will restore health, and will come in clutch during the board fight in the off chance that I need it. The odds of me needing it are not, like, especially high, but the odds of me needing it are not 0, and so therefore I can't just ignore having the healing item there. Alright, time for the board fight. Let me do my equips real quick. Wolfgang, unequip all offense. Eva, unequip Fang Feast and Dark Magic, unequip all offense. That's all I need to do. And then heal. That's the thing, it's like, if that is able to be found, that would be the Holy Grail, because that skips the entire dungeon, basically, but we have no way of doing that yet, unfortunately. Alright, so switch to Patches, Bear Boost, and Rush. Cuts. Ouch. Alright, but because of budget cuts, do another Bear Boost. Brew Rush. Okay, so I did not need a tiramisu this time, but that's okay. Better to have it than not. And then wash your head, when it's too high. And synergy. go. Defend. Market is looking bullish. And Teddy Tremor. That's the fight. Nice and easy. And then I will boost my health. And split. Nice. 40-second save. Alright, now it's just the final boss and we're done. But first, we gotta get through some yapping. Alright, and the final boss was not perfect last time around, but it also wasn't bad. So like, I don't have a ton of time to save here. But also my RNG last time wasn't the best, and my blocking wasn't the best, so yeah. I kind of survived by the seat of my pants last time, so as long as that doesn't happen, I'll be fine. Like, I think I survived one turn where I blocked with Flint, and he survived with 1 health, so if I had missed that block, I would have died, and the fight would have been over. But even if that were to happen, sub 3 is still on the table. Because I would need to lose the fight like 2 or 3 times in order to knock at the sub 3. Alright. Just gotta climb a few more stairs, and then we're good to go. And I will take the save, just because it's like 3 seconds of time loss to make sure that I can finish the run. There's no reason not to save. Because I did not save there. The last time I saved was before the board fight, and I do not want to have to do that again. Alright, let's do it. Whoops. Oh. Air boost. Getting a poison would be nice, but if I don't get one... Oops. Nice. Okay, I did not get poison. Okay. Okay. Flint's taking a lot of damage, but that's okay. Because as long as things go my way, that is the last chance the hands have to attack the rest of the fight. Bear boost. kind of playing with fire here a little bit, because if she targets Flint on this turn, then I'm dead. So I'm just gonna have to hope that she doesn't target Flint. She targets Patches. Okay, good. Okay, apparently her attack boost didn't last that turn, so I didn't actually have to be concerned, but still. Because if she has the attack boost when the attack goes out, every single hit of that attack does like 6+ damage, and it's stupid. Thankfully, I didn't have to worry about it. Alright. And I am good to go. That was a perfect fight. And I managed to gold that split by 24 seconds because I had a perfect final boss fight. Hell yeah. I'm gonna have to retime that because if I got a fucking 253 flat and not a 252, I'm gonna be like minorly annoyed. Right, but that's good to know that a perfect final boss fight where you don't need to heal a single time is something that can happen if the RNG cooperates and you hit all of your blocks. I mean, this is not a 14-minute world record because their world record is not on the leaderboard. World record is under 2.5 hours. It just has not been posted to SRC. I mean, yeah, no, like I'm not faulting you for not knowing that there is an unverified world record or anything like that, but at the very least, I'm happy with that run. Like I'm okay with leaving. Like I'm not stopping running this game necessarily, but like if I were to never run this game again, I wouldn't be upset with leaving it here, because obviously this run was very, very far from perfect. There was so many mistakes, so many things that could have been better, but that's at least like a respectable time for my second run. Because I wanted to get a sub 3 hour time, and I definitely got a sub 3 hour time. I'm just gonna mash through the rest of the ending here so I can get to the credits. And yeah, well, here's the thing, it's like, I kind of think that maybe the time should stop when we finish mashing through all this dialogue and get to credits. Maybe that's where we should stop time, but also, I don't fault anybody for not wanting to have to mash through all of this dialogue at the end of every single run. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright, have a good night, Bonsai Joe. Thanks for stopping by. And yes, B. Jonas, this was in fact a PB, by just a tiny little margin. Just a small little 41 minutes. But yeah, I don't actually... Like, unlike the run that I did last night, I'm actually going to probably upload this to YouTube and submit it to SRC. Because the run from last night, I would not feel comfortable uploading that to YouTube and submitting it to SRC because that was how bad it was. But thankfully, this run was actually pretty decent, so I'll take it. Alright, almost to the credits. Because it doesn't feel right leaving off a run like this without at least getting to the credits. Alright, thankfully, we're almost done mashing. The yapping is almost complete. And there we go. That was Escape from Ever After, 90% in under 3 hours. In exactly 2 hours and 53 minutes, in fact. I don't know, maybe if I retime it'll be 2 hours and 52 minutes and 59 seconds, but we'll see. That is a problem for after stream. And I'll fast forward through the rest of these credits here. But I'm pretty happy with that. That was a pretty solid second run. There's definitely time save all over. I did lose some time on 2 splits even. And one of those splits was like actually like relatively significant time save. Or time loss, I mean. Because the Cthulhu split, I messed up one of the tricks and lost a chunk of time from that, and then also my Cthulhu fight was just pretty bad, which lost me a lot of time. But other than the Cthulhu fight, all of the boss fights were really good this run. So I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, that's that.